Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are been dealing with inclusive growth and issues arising from it. So before we get into the lecture, do subscribe the channel and like the video after watching it, and comment your doubts if you get any during the course of the video. So let's get into the video. In this lecture, we'll be looking into dimensions of inclusive growth and sustainable development growth and inclusive growth. So starting from the dimensions, equality. See, equality of opportunity in terms of access to markets, resources, and a fair regulatory environment. It means like everyone should get their own opportunity to for resources to our market, and proper regulations must be there for people to achieve or get developed or get their growth in their life. Like um, like different inequalities do exist in India, like socio-economic inequalities, rural and urban split. So like inclusive growth and mm, equality are mutually reinforcing. Like without equality, inclusive growth cannot be achieved, and lack of inclusive growth may lead to inequality in various forms. Like in the contemporary environment, like gender equality has become the basic element of inclusive growth. This is something uh, which is very need of the moment. Going on to the next, the good governance. See, governance means the regulatory or the monitoring process which facilitates the delivery of the government services. See, good governance in the sense proper delivery of the essential services, like with effectiveness and efficiency, upholding the rule of law, accountability, encouraging the popular participation of people. Everything comes under good governance. Like it is the core of essential public services, and it highlights as a platform for all actors, like all stakeholders, and adapts to sustain the different socio-economic transformation, which is a requirement for the inclusive growth. Moving on to the decentralization. See, by sitting at the center, you cannot work on the inclusive growth. No, like you have to divide your power with the local governments, state governments, through which the inclusive growth starts. Like it can be seen through 73rd and 74th amendments of the constitution, in the in the constitution, which empowered the municipalities and panchayats. Like the 11th 5-year plan devised a devolution index for the panchayat raj institution. Like the government has to devolve, delegate, and decentralize the administration for proper inclusive growth, because they are the delivery mechanisms for inclusive growth. However, there are some issues like lack of finance, proper institutions, diverges in state approach and central approach in different programs and responsibilities, poor accountability, transparency, monitoring mechanism. These all must be taken into consideration, and proper decentralization must happen to deliver inclusive growth properly. Coming on to this, accountability and transparency. See, accountability is nothing but answerable to the performance of the service delivery. Like if it is not answerable, I mean, if it is not accountable, you may do as you wish. But when it is accountable, you have to follow the rules, follow the procedures, and properly deliver the services. Like again, transparency is again very necessary for efficient delivery of public services. Like you can know like who is supplying what, how much did they get, or how much it was paid for the delivery of the public service. Like citizen charter, RTI, Central Vigilance Commission, These all are revolutionary efforts to achieve accountability and transparency. Next is sustainability. See, sustainability and inclusive growth cannot be achieved in isolation, and they supplement each other together. Like, there are different types of sustainability, like financial sustainability, like excess of subsidy and lack of outcome orientation leads to increase in fiscal deficit in India. Social sustainability, like particularly prevalent in tribal areas where development programs for economic growth come in conflict sometimes with the cultural sentiments of the people living in the tribal areas. So in again, environmental sustainability. See, environment also be taken care at the same time. Sustainable, I mean, inclusive growth must also happen. But sometimes it changes, like due to the excess use of fertilizer, depletion of soil productivity, technology fatigue. These all have happened in the past, which must be rectified. Now, sustainable development, growth, and inclusive growth. See, this is very simple topic. Like, as we read in the environmental sustainability, for the peace and prosperity for people and the planet, for now and the future, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was accepted by all the member nations in 2015. Like the Sustainable Development 8, Goal 8 promotes sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment, and decent work for all. Like, this is something which has been taken into consideration at the international level itself. It's not only for India but taken into up to the international level with the United Nations, which means even other countries are working towards sustainable development and inclusive growth. So it is very much need for India to for for the growth to occur at the inclusive level, so that the inequality reduces and betters in the upcoming times. So yes guys, today's lecture is that's it for today's lecture. Hope you guys understood today's lecture. Do comment your doubts if you have any. We'll resume with the next lecture, next topic soon. Thank you.